Hi guys. Look, the more I'm talking to people in research, putting my website together, the more I'm coming across ideas and concepts and issues. And I thought I'd try and create a little series of conversations that I could share with you that I'm going to call provocations. I'm not trying to suggest that I've got the answer, right? I'm just thinking out aloud about some issues that I'm wondering about. Is anybody out there addressing these issues? I'm wondering to myself, is there a way in which we can start some conversations about how we can address some things that I think, from an entrepreneurial perspective, have been left to one side in this process of education? And maybe because they are difficult. But I think nevertheless, it's incumbent upon us to actually think about how they might fit in. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was mental health issues. I'm going to do an interview soon with a colleague of mine who's doing a lot of research in this space. But from my own personal perspective, I think this is an area where we really can't afford to allow our students to actually get beyond themselves in terms of their confidence and their understanding of what entrepreneurial behavior is. Let's think through this whole process of being wedded to your business. The ideas that our students tend to be working with, they sort of start a small business here online, or they go and do something at the market on the weekend. They're not what I would call a business that has been started to actually pay their mortgage, to actually provide for a family. Right? There's no, they're not heavily laden with, very, very substantial, fixed costs. That means that they've got to achieve, quite a lot of turnover to simply just cover their costs. They're relatively simple business ideas, and I think that's great. I think it's great that our students have the opportunity to commercialise an idea and get it out there. But are we actually putting the students into a position where they're developing a false set of confidences in relation to their ability to go off and do something? I know they have to start somewhere, and we can't crush them with experiences that are going to be beyond them. But I'm just wondering, within the time frame of their education, can we think about how we actually bring in some of those mental stresses? How can we actually create an opportunity for students to be engaged in something where they simply can't just walk away from it? It's something that's there. It's they're surrounded by it. I think of some of the educational programs they have for young girls or young guys, where they give them a baby. It's a doll. It's a make-believe baby. But essentially, if it's not being held all the time, as soon as it stops moving, it starts to cry. And it's on a timer. It has demands. I need to be fed. I need to have my nappy changed, or whatever it is. So this exposes the young adolescent to the actual demands, the actual 24/7 demands of having this child. It's not something we can have today and then forget about it tomorrow, and then we'll come back to it the next day. And I just wonder, where are we at as a group with helping our students to actually understand that if you get serious about having a business, that the majority of small businesses are run by a person or a small team, and that you're there 24/7. Right? Your customers might not always be right, but they always come first. They come before family, they become before everything. Because without those customers, we can't pay our way. Which basically means we're married to it 24/7. And I think there's also, next to this issue, I think there's this issue of freedom. That, you can be your own boss, you can take control of your future. And I wonder about that one too. Because think about the businesses we've run. And if you haven't run a business, think about the people you know who run businesses. Is freedom actually something a part of their life? Yeah, they're free from having someone to tell them what to do all the time, but they're not free from a bank manager who might be wanting to talk to them about their overdraft. They're not free from the demands of their customers. And by and large, they work more hours than they would if they were just doing 38 or 40 hours a week in a normal job. So I'm wondering, where do we actually fit these notions of the stress and the mental health issues. I mean, running a business can make you sick, right? Let's not ever run away or shy from that. It can make you sick, right? And I think a lot of us have been in that space where we've had good days and we've had really bad days, where we've woken up in the middle of the night and we thought to myself, how are we going to pay for our salaries, for our employees' salaries? How are we going to pay these creditors? You know, that goes on for too long. It's not very good for your health. Is this something that our students should be exposed to? Should they actually have this connection to something that can't be taken away? You know, so I'm interested to see, you know, what sort of ideas you guys might have in relation to, you know, in relation to how we actually encompass these ideas, how we bring them in from outside and actually allow our students to play with them. So anyway, that's my first provocation, and I'm interested to see your feedback. You know, by all means, use the contact form to send me back some feedback, and I'd like to continue this conversation on this particular subject. Cheerio.